Let's go on to Mr. Espy, Mike Espy. A lot of people will remember your name, those who are have a good political memory. You were the former Secretary of Agriculture. And let me ask you what your strategy is. Let me put up a poll. Cindy Hyde-Smith, the woman who a lot of people only know for having said she'd show up front row to a hanging, a few years ago when you were running against her in a runoff. She's up ahead of you right now. But I will tell you that Stuart Stevens, who is a Republican operative, longtime Mississippi Republican operative, said to me once that if Democrats had put real money behind you, you could beat Cindy Hyde-Smith. He believes that he said that to me, he's a Republican. How would you do that? How would you do that in a state like of Mississippi?
Well, thank you, Joy. Good morning. Thanks for having me. And I want to say hello to all of my brothers, and I wish them well. Joy, we're going to win in November 2020 because we've run before and we've won before in Mississippi in a district that was not majority black. You remember we started, I was Secretary of Agriculture, but I was a member of Congress, and we stitched together a majority vote in that district. And then we went to the white side, and there was an agricultural downturn. And we went to those white agricultural leaders, and we says, look, invest in us, we'll respond to you, we'll listen to your concerns. And they trusted me, they elected me to a seat in the United States Congress, and we won. So let's project forward to current days. We've already had a dry run, Joy, running for this seat in 2020. You remember we ran 18 months ago, and we were the last Senate race in the United States to come on the board. We only had 6 months to run. We did exceedingly well. At the end of the day, we got 47% of the vote in the state of Mississippi, and we did it in two ways. Not by taking the black vote for granted. We have more black voters in Mississippi per capita than any state of the nation. But we spoke to them about issues, lifting their incomes, better healthcare outcomes, greater educational attainment, and they invested in me. And then we found out, Joy, that Mississippi is changing. It's not that same old stereotype demographically that we're used to. We have white voters now who are in suburbs, they're in college towns, they're in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, they're in areas that are becoming exceedingly purple and even blue. So our task here in about 5 months is to organize the greatest, widest, deepest black voter turnout in Mississippi's history, something we just did not have time to do 18 months ago, and then marry that with college-age voters who are passionate about the murder of George Floyd, marry that and stitch that together with white women of higher incomes, of higher educational attainment, and then stitch them all together to create a winning coalition and create a Mississippi for change, and a Mississippi that they deserve.
Well, and I have to say that Mississippi was the hardest state to try to register voters in the entire country back in the 1950s and 60s. It was sort of the heart of darkness for voter terrorism against voters. Is there enough of an infrastructure for black voters in Mississippi to be able to come to the polls or mail-in vote?
Two things. First of all, we've been doing our homework. We never quit. After we lost 18 months ago, we never quit. So we've already uncovered 100,000 black voters who didn't vote 18 months ago. They're very infrequent. Many of them haven't voted since Obama 2008. So now we know where they are, and it's just our job as a campaign to go and get them and encourage them to come out to the poll. But speaking more to your question, I'm going to give Stacey Abrams some props right here. Stacey is a daughter of Mississippi, and we now have a Fair Fight Mississippi chapter of Fair Fight Georgia. So we're here. We've been working since February to improve the voter affidavit ballot to make sure that on Election Day, everyone gets a chance to submit a fair ballot on time.